Hello, this is Alejandro and William Isley from Unlock Clarity, and welcome to Spanglish World Networks on Single TV channel 250. Please remember to download both the Single TV app on the respective app stores on iOS and Android. While you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. The app is free. Single TV is available on Google Chromecast and Amazon Fire. Hey, William, how are you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I had a very good week. Last week I was on vacation in Acapulco with very good weather, so it was amazing.
Oh, yes. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, I'm excited about this one today. Perseverance. This is going to be an awesome talk today. So, Alejandro, I know that you have had lots of opportunities to persevere in your life. So,
Yes.
what? Lay it on us, man. What's some of your stories?
Well, I believe there is a lot of stories if I start to think about perseverance because I see it everywhere, like everything that I have to do, and every time that I reach a goal, the only way I do it is when I am using perseverance. So I want to tell you quickly and a short version of my story when I had my MBA because it was really a lesson for me, and that was one, maybe not the first one, but one of the most important lessons that I learned about perseverance when I did it. Uh, I I had a friend that teach me how to. He talked to me about like doing these MBAs internationally and not in Guatemala. I am from Guatemala, and when he told me about this, he told me, okay, you have to study and do a GMAT, and this test of the GMAT is something very complicated. You have to buy it and understand how the people that is doing the test thinks. Then you can answer the way they are thinking, and everything started with that. Like the first thing that I did was I bought the book to study the GMAT. And I study systems engineer. That means that I have maybe 14 or 15 classes of math, different type of math, but at the end it was a lot of math in my career. And when I had this book, the first thing that I did was I went directly to the first test and tried to teach them that I was ready already. Like I can do the test right now. I can beat the test in this moment. So I started to feel the test, and I remember clearly I was in the living room in my house with my parents' house, and I was like, okay, I am going to feel this, and I am going to teach that I already have this ready. And I started to do it, and I did. It was a short test, so it was like 30 questions, I believe, and I answered them like in 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, I am so fast and reading and doing this, and I was doing everything as good as possible, and I was fast doing that. And when I finished, I started to do like all the review with the answers behind, and I realized that I had only three good questions. Three answers were good. And for me, that moment was like, oh my God, I am not good at this. I don't know why or how, but these guys are asking questions in the wrong way. I don't understand how, but this thing is really bad. So that's where I started. Like, I even decided, I was so frustrated that the first thing that I did is put the book like in the shelter, and it's like I'm not going to study this thing. These Americans that created this program are crazy. And I put the book there, and it's like I am not going to do this anymore. I will continue studying here. I have a good life. I don't need anything like this. I don't need the MBA and blah blah blah. Like 2 3 months later, I continue like, no, but I really want to do an MBA, and I want to do something international. So I started to think like one test can beat me on this dream that I have. I'm sorry, but I'm going to beat this test. So I decided even to do like burn the shifts. That's something that happens sometimes, and it's like I decided to even leave the work that I had at that moment, because I was going to focus completely on the studying that test because I was going to get to the best university that I can to do my MBA. And I started that road and I studied for 3 months that daily 8 hours per day studying how to do the test the best way possible. And I really did the test. After that, that was part of the perseverance. In the process of doing that, I had some people from the university from Spain, where I went in Guatemala, and they presented the university and how was everything, and I was like, okay, I like the way these guys are thinking. They were top three. They are always in the top five of international MBAs, and at that moment was like top three, and I was like, wow, this is a very good. I understood why you need to be in one of those type of programs, and why that is going to give you other type of things and connecting with other type of people, blah blah blah. The only little problem that I had is that I didn't have money to pay that. That was a little problem, but it didn't stop me. I did the test. I sent all the information to the university. Okay, here is Alejandro. Why I want to join? Why? What are all my degrees? Everything. And when this with these universities takes a long time to really tell you yes, you're accepted and everything. So I already decided to get out of my work. For me, it was not a good thing to start a job to leave in 2 months or 3 months to do my MBA. So I decided, like, okay, if I have already done everything, I already did my test, it was okay, everything was perfect. I don't have the money, but I have the passion, and I already know what I want to do. And that's something that I think we want to talk today is when you have perseverance, if you have passion, you can persevere. If you don't have passion, it's going to be very difficult and it's going to be a long road. But with this story that I'm telling you, I was like, oh, I really need this. I really want this. And I was so passionate about it that let me tell you what I did. I wasn't accepted at the university. I sent all my information, but I wasn't accepted. And I was in Guatemala. That Guatemala is a country that normally, like all year long, is springtime. So it's a good weather all the time. That means that you don't have clothes to go to extreme weather. And Madrid is not that extreme, but it's extreme for for a person in Guatemala. So I decided to do something. I'm going to buy a one-way ticket to Spain with a stop in Miami to buy the things that I didn't have to study the MBA, even when I wasn't accepted. And I bought a one-way ticket to Spain. Stopped 1 week in Miami. I bought my computer. I bought my clothes and everything that I was going to use during my time in the MBA that I wasn't accepted.
Okay.
And I started to do that. And the day before I left Guatemala, a person from the university called me to do the interview to see if I was a fit for them. I did the interview, and they don't answer you there like, okay, it's okay or not. They say like, okay, thank you, and that's it. It's like part of the process, but I can tell you yes or no. I stayed 1 week in Miami, and the day that I was leaving from Miami to Spain, they called me and told me that I was accepted.
Yes.
I got to Spain, and the first thing that I did was call them again, like, okay, you told me that I am accepted. What are the next steps to get the like some type of a scholarship or something, because I don't have the money to pay. Uh, I don't know. At that moment was like 70K euros. for studying there. And it's
Wow.
like, how you are going to do that? And plus living and all the other stuff. And I was like, okay, I don't have the money for that. Do you have the scholarship or something? Oh, yes, you can apply. And I applied. But 1 week later, it was like, okay, we are going to start already the next program. And they asked me on a Friday. I remember like Friday, 9 p.m. And they told me, Alejandro, are you going to start the program on Monday? Yes or no? And it's like, okay, guys, do you have the scholarship? Yes or no? And they told me, no, I'm sorry, but we already gave all the scholarship that we are supposed to give, so there is no scholarship. And I was like, okay, so I can tell you yes. I don't have the money. I don't know how I am going to say, I can tell you yes and I can pay you. So I can tell you yes right now. And during the weekend, I was like, okay, God help me. And like, I need some inspiration from from God how to get the money, like 70K in 1 weekend. I don't know how to do that. And
Then
I started to hear in myself like there is a person that you can call that maybe he can help you. And I am talking about to you a moment that you don't have anything. I was 23 years old. I didn't have a house. I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything. The only thing that I have is like, okay, William, can you help me? I need to pay this 70K plus living, maybe 90K euros. Do you have the money to lend me? And I will pay you one day. I don't know when, but one day I will pay you. I don't know how, but I will pay you, And
I remember those years.
I was exactly, I couldn't even pay like anything. And I was like, okay. I called him and, okay, I believe in you, so I am going to lend you the money. And he's like, really? Are you going to do that? So this example, what I wanted to share is exactly, there is a lot of moments where you can say like, okay, nothing is working. And even this guy telling me, okay, the scholarship is not okay, you can like say like it's enough, like I can't help you, I can do anything. And the reality, on Monday I called them like, okay, I have the money, and they told me, Alejandro, we already gave your space because you told us no on Friday night. And at that moment I was like, okay guys, really, I am sorry, but if I found 90K euros in 1 weekend, you are going to find a place. I don't know how, but you are going to find a place, and let me know when and how we want to talk, but you have to find a place. And this type of universities are not the type of university like, okay, I know that in Guatemala, if you have 30, they can accept 31 or 32, doesn't matter. Like, it's like another one that is paying, it's okay. These
Right.
guys is like, okay, it's the amount is exact and there is no other way. But really, again, with this perseverance and pushing them, like, I was sure that if I have the money, they have to open the space. And they told me, okay, like when they saw that I was really secure what I wanted, they told me, Alejandro, call us on Wednesday, and we will see. If somebody says I can't, that is already registered, you can enter. If not, there is no way you can enter. It's like, okay, on Wednesday somebody will tell you that, so I will call you and I will get to the university on Thursday. Is that okay? I was with that certainty, and that was exactly what happened. So that's the story in a nutshell. It was not that nutshell, but there was a lot of little details in the process.
We could unpack that and talk for 3 hours
Yes.
on all of those amazing opportunities that you created out of thin air. And so perseverance, what is perseverance without the passion to make it happen? Wow. This is incredible. So You know, it always seems impossible until it's done. And your situation would be labeled impossible
Yes. In
by,
every single step, because if you start to think it is
I mean,
since the beginning, since I had that little book, like, okay, how you're going to start to do the test the way they think.
and then you went to, you got your one-way ticket when they told you no. And then the day before, they tell you yes. And then, yeah, then you get to Miami. Yes, really. Then you get to Spain. No. And then you just make it happen. That is amazing. So that's a very big case for passion and keeping that tank full and actually knowing and understanding what we want to do and deciding the burn the ships moment, as you said. It's like this
Yes,
this is what I'm going to do, and universe, make it happen.
yes, exactly.
I remember those years.
And talking about clarity, also, when you have clarity and you have the passion to seek for something, you are going to persevere and you are going to find it. And
Yeah.
I can see it everywhere. Like when I started my own entrepreneurship, I was like, I already know how to do it in the corporate. Why I want to start again over everything? And it's like I have a passion. I want to connect with, start to help people in the things that I had problems when I was in the corporate. I also want to show my kids that and open the space for them uh, with what I'm doing now. And suddenly, it's like I have the passion to do something that sometimes can be impossible or think that it's impossible to do. And every little step that you do, some things start to happen.
And it's like my music teacher used to tell me, the difficult we do immediately. The impossible takes only slightly longer.
Yeah.
And I've been in multiple situations that seemed impossible, and I made it happen. I got myself out of those situations, or what have you. They worked themselves out.
And what we want to say to people that is listening to us today, and if you have the passion and you are persevering in something that you don't see the results right now, but you are really passionate about it, and you have the clarity that that is exactly what you want in your life, the only guarantee for failure is to stop trying. That's something that John Maxwell said that I really like. That it's exactly like summarizing everything that we are talking about perseverance, because that is exactly what you need to do. Is like start to create the world that you want to have. And the other one that I love, it's always too soon to quit. And we are trying to talk to you like exactly in the position and in the moment that you are, that maybe you are having some difficult time, you don't know exactly what to do. And I try to tell you with this story all the difficult time that I had in the process. It was in 10, 15 minutes, something that happens in months, like maybe like 6 months, all this process. But but the reality is when you have the clarity, people will start to join you and tell you that they believe in what you are doing, and they are going to connect with your passion and your dream and your purpose also. So that's at the end the purpose of this call today, talking about perseverance. Is perseverance comes from clarity and from passion. If you have clarity of what you want and you have the passion to do it, you are going to overcome all the issues and the problem that you are having in the process.
Absolutely. It's like I told someone a few months ago, if you know exactly where you're going and you keep your eye on that distant point, whatever you've got to go through to get there barely even registers on the radar. And I kind of like what Winston Churchill says: success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And we are talking about a gentleman whose country was crumbling around him as the Germans were bombing it. That's powerful.
Yeah. So anybody that is listening to us right now, if you are going through some struggles and you need somebody to give you a
different perspective,
help you with what you are doing, we are here to help you, William and myself, and we can connect with you, and you just let us know that we are ready to help you. So thank you, William, for this session today. It was amazing. Next week, we really invite you to be here with us. We're going to be talking about potential, and really what we believe, both of us, is that we have unlimited potential, and that's exactly what we are going to talk about next week. And if you are doubting about your potential, or you are thinking you have unlimited potential, you have to be with us next week at the same time.
Yes.
So any final comment that you want to leave, William, for today?
No, I think I've nailed it. What about you? What parting wisdom do you have this week?
No, I think I talk a lot today, and it was great. It was good to share with you part of my life and part of my story in the past. And that's something that for me, it's something that I keep doing every single day, like persevering in things that I believe in. This program is part of this perseverance, trying to get to more people. So thank you all. Thank you, William, for today. See you next week. This show can also be heard on the Spanglish World Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Bye bye all.